Joe Rogan, Joseph Rogans. We all know him, most of us are fond of him, so I'm going to give you all a quick rundown of the highs and lows of this little grizzly freedom ape. The good, the bad, and the stand-up. Right, so everything started to come together for Joe when he stumbled into that taekwondo gym when he was about 14. If you're an avid listener of the podcast, you'll have heard this story many times. Joe walking into the taekwondo gym for the first time, the intimidating banging sound as he walked up the stairs, shaking the building. What was it? It was Grandmaster J.H. Kim. Little Joseph then became obsessed, finding purpose and learning the value of discipline. He later transitioned to kickboxing, but then tragedy hit. At around the age of 20, 21, Joe Rogan, sadly, discovered stand-up comedy, dooming many to future pain. He tried desperately to juggle kickboxing and stand-up in his life, but it became just too much to bear. He had to make a choice. The brain cells that were needed to do the great work of crafting scientific-level comedy bits was just too much to continue kickboxing. Joe went all in on comedy. It was all going great for Joe. A couple of brief TV shows, stand-up, and then, in 1997, another of Joe's defining dimensions began. He started working for the UFC. Now, I am going to get on to taking a piss out of Joe's commentary, don't worry. That'll come in a bit. But for now, I just want to quickly genuinely say that this was a brilliant move by Joe. Choosing to do something that he was interested in and passionate about, despite other people's criticism and confusion with the move. It's a quality in Joe that I think is one of the key factors that's made him so successful. Speaking of factors, right the way down on the other end of the passion versus profit scale, we have Fear Factor. In 2001, Joe started hosting Fear Factor. Again, if you listen to the pod, you're probably going to know what I'm going to say next. But this move gave Joe something that enabled him to make career moves and decisions in a methodical fashion, weighing up how much he's actually going to want to do something rather than just focusing on the income. Yes, folks, this is where Joe made fuck you money. And having that financial freedom, in fact, allowed Joe to make his best move yet. In 2009, Joe uploaded his first podcast. Again, to the confusion and criticism of his peers. But Joe cracked on sitting in front of a laptop with Brian Redban, bullshitting and flogging fleshlights. And so it was complete. The Joe Rogan trifecta. Stand-up, the UFC and the podcast. There's of course other projects and interests. We all thoroughly enjoy listening to Joe talk about pool. We love hearing about some random Filipino pool player. We adore listening to Joe talk us through the intricacies of bow hunting. Every little detail about taking a shot. And oh my God, are we all so excited every time Joe reminds us about COVID and how it all went down. But with all of that aside, it's those main three that are the pillars of old Rogies. We have the UFC commentary. Now, a lot of people are going to give Joe shit over this. Yes, Joe will clearly have a favourite fighter in any high-level matchup, and whilst highlighting every single thing that his favourite fighter does, he'll just completely ignore everything coming back. And yes, his leg might in fact be hurt, destroyed you might say. And yeah, maybe it would be interesting if there was an MMA fight in a basketball court. I guess. Look, I get it. At this point, his commentary, it's pretty much useless. We all love to mock it. But come on, it's Joe. When there's a big card and we've got Rogan, DC and Anik on commentary, you got to admit, it adds another layer of specialness to the event. And his commentary isn't really for us, it's for casuals. Who's seriously looking to Joe's commentary to get a view on how the fight's progressing? I, personally, am happy he's still there. As another creme de la creme, high-level craftsman comedian sometimes says, it adds a bit of razzle-dazzle. And then we've got the stand-up. Look, it's Joe's little hobby. Let the little man work on his jokes and enjoy his little thing. We haven't got to watch it, have we? In fact, please, don't watch it. Trust me. Ironically, Joe has said many times on a podcast that if he had to pick one thing out of all the things he does and only do that one thing, that it would be stand-up. I think I speak for everyone when I say, thank fuck he hasn't actually got to make that choice. And then we finally have the podcast. I think it's fairly safe to say that it's most people's favourite thing that he does. And, monetarily at least, it's his most successful thing. Is he getting a bit old now? Yeah. Is the quality and consistency falling off a tad? Yeah. But in my opinion, it's brilliant. And I'm glad he does it. The whole COVID thing changed him and it was a bit sad to watch. But in fairness, it must have been extremely tough going through all those cancellation attempts. So I skip a few more than I used to. Luckily, there's still plenty of bangers amongst them. So there you go. He's not perfect, and he's not very tall, and he's not that funny. But damn it, he's ours. And we love him. Anyway, if you like this video, give us a sub, check out this playlist of recent bangers. I'll see you next time.